G'day guys, how we going? Here we are again, another Sunday night, having a yak to you guys. Hopefully all having a good week. Can see one's on here already, and hopefully, Hamish, you can hear everything that's going on all loud and clear. It'd be good to hear about that. Righto, so tonight we're going to have a chat about a topic that gets sort of thrown out around a fair bit, and I get asked about it quite a lot. G'day Tyler, how you going there, mate? Thanks for dropping in there tonight. And that's about UHF channels and what channel do sort of I use. And I'd be pretty keen to sort of hear from you guys as well. What sort of channels do you use? Do you have a go-to channel? Look, most offices have nowadays got the 80 channel UHF radios, but there's still a few floating around on the old 40 channel. It depends on who you're going away with as to what channels you've got open and that you can certainly go and use. But Land Cruiser, g'day guys. How you going there, mate? So funny. How are you? Okay, thanks for coming tonight. Greg, how are you? From the farm, mate. Good on you. Hopefully it's nice and dry where you are there, mate. So we're going to have a chat about that, and then we'll have a chat about a couple of other channels that are, can be sort of handy to drop into when you're tripping around. Then we'll have a chat about a couple of channels that, you probably shouldn't be transmitting on them just, if you didn't know about them, but we'll get into those a bit later on. So as far as go-to channels, look, yeah, I've got the 80 channel radio, UHF radio in my patrol, but I do get away occasionally with a few people who've still only got the 40. So, so you only can go on the channels that they've got available to them. So my go-to channel, particularly in the high country, is I generally start on channel 10. Now, it sometimes can be a little bit, a bit crowded, that channel. So you can generally flick up and down one or two there if you have to, but I generally start on channel 10 and spend most of my trips on channel 10 and just float around that as I trip around. So, be pretty keen. What sort of channels are you going there? G'day, Mark. Hopefully everything's going all right. I think you're up in Cape York, I think, at the moment, mate. So hope it's going all right up there. What channels you guys using on your trips when you get away? Because like I said, channel 10 is generally my go-to. Sometimes I might, flick up around 39 or somewhere up there, but generally channel 10 is the one that I use a fair bit. Now, a couple of channels that, that you can sort of drop into, particularly if you are tripping around maybe out on the highways and that sort of thing. And now channel 18 is where, you generally find most of the caravanners are on channel 18, which is a handy one to know in case you come up behind one that's traveling a little bit slower than what you want to do and you want to try and get past him. You generally drop into channel 18. You might be able to give them a quick call up and see if there's somewhere they can let you get past, and so you can get on your way. And the other one that I use a lot, don't use it as in talk on it, but I certainly drop in and listen to it a great deal, is when I'm out there on the highways, and that is channel 40. Now, there's not much that you don't find out about on channel 40, but I find it great. That's where all the truckies are on. That's a national channel that they all get on that and chat to each other all around the country on channel 40. And it's a beauty because, you find out any traffic updates and, that sort of stuff. Like if I come up on a traffic jam, which I was only in one just last few days down here as I'm heading down towards Melbourne, and you just jump on channel 40 and you soon find out what's going on, what's causing the traffic jam. And there was an accident that day there, but that's where they're really handy, listening to channel 40. And also you generally find out if there's any radars or any police floating around as well. So that's one channel that I certainly do listen into. Like as soon as I hit the roads, I generally flick on, especially if I'm on my own. I generally flick on channel 40 straight away, and I just listen to that, just have it sitting there and see what sort of feedback comes in through it while I'm tripping along. Gary, how you going there, mate? Good. Ned, how are you? Thanks very much for the camp oven tips. Thanks very much. Great. Hopefully they've helped yours out by the sound of it, and you've dished yourself up a decent meal there. And then the other channels that these are the ones you should not definitely be transmitting on, and that's channel 5 and channel 35. They're national emergency channels. They're where you can use those all around Australia. So, there's no guarantee that someone's going to pick you up at the end of it, but they are a designated emergency channel if something goes wrong. So channel 5 and 35 are really well known and really handy to know that, but just make sure when you're tripping around on any of your trips that you're not in convoy and chatting away on either of those two, because, you want to keep those channel 5 and channel 35, want to keep those well and truly open just in case, someone is in strife out there and they do want to report in and hopefully get hold of someone. So channel 5 and channel 35. And the other ones is the repeater channels. Now, I did a video on the repeater channels, how they sort of all work. And a few months ago, we did that one. So that video is up there as well on my channel there. But that is very handy to know about the repeater channels. And I'm not sure if I think they are a national thing, but I'm going to speak purely for the High Country because I know this is where it all happens down here with these. But from channels 1 through to channel 8 is the repeater channels down here, where there's the repeater towers scattered all through the High Country, and they can be used for long distance communications. Now, the channels where you shouldn't really commute on either of those, channels 1 through 38, but the other ones where that they connect into to get that extra communication, where they tap into the repeaters, is channel 1 through to 38. So if you're on channel 1 looking for a repeater tower and you find one, well, it'll be channel 1 goes through 31, channel 2 goes through 32, 3 goes through 33, and so on up to channel 8 through 38. And and you just don't want to make sure that you're transmitting and having a convoy conversation on those, because if you're on all those from 31 through 38 and you're having a chat with with your mates on there, well, your conversation could be going tens of thousands of kilometers around, and you unknowingly don't even know that's how far your communication, your convoy, your chat could be going, and it blocks those channels from anyone that really needs to use them to try and get some help or emergency assistance from being able to use that. So there's some certainly numbers there. Channel 5 and 35 and 31 through to 8 and 31 through to 38. Just make sure that you are aware of those channels and that you don't go using any of those repeater channels that are out there for general conversation. Now, how do you know if you're in one of those repeater areas where there's a repeater channel around? Well, again, we went through that too. If you just grab your mic and click and start from channel 1 and go through to 8, just grab your mic on channel 1 and click your receiver. And if you get a bounce back click sound out of that, well, that's telling you straight away that you are in range of one of those towers. So if you're on channel 1, you're going to be somewhere on around picking up channel 31. And you can just work your way through. So go to number 2. If number 1 doesn't give you a bounce back, well, then go to number 2. Same thing, just click your receiver and see if you get a bounce back. If that doesn't work, try number 3 all the way up through to number 8. And as soon as you get a bounce back sound, well, that's when you are hitting one of those repeater towers from 31 through 38. And that's where you can use it, for those extra long distance communications, just in case you're in strife. And these, unless you've got HF radios and all that sort of thing going on, all these channels can be really handy for, for finding out, if you want to get in touch with anyone through for those people that are, in an emergency situation. So certainly keep an eye on all of those. What some of you guys you got here? Gary is using channel 10. The one used for national parks. Yeah, a lot of full drives too. National parks and full drive is a fairly sort of designated channel 10. So yeah, I've used it, for pretty much all the time. I just like using it. G'day, Robert. How you going there, mate? Australian Outdoors. All going well. Thanks very much, mate. Going really good. Mark, channel 29 is the highway channel going up the coast from Sydney to Brisbane. So is that like is that for anyone to use, mate, or is that who's using that channel 29? Or is that for anyone to have a chat to? If you're heading up the highway there, Mark was saying from Sydney through to Brizzy, is that maybe a lot of truckies maybe use that too? I'm not really sure. I haven't used that channel 29, but these are all handy channels to know. Really handy to know, that's for sure. So funny, I'm an ex-truckie and use 40 all the time. Yeah, I don't use it like as in sit on it and chat on it, but I use it all the time to hear what's going on, that's for sure. Channel 40 is a gold channel to listen to, that's for sure. Brendan, how you going there, mate? Top tips, thanks, mate. Greatly appreciate the feedback there. Thanks for dropping in. Steve, how are you, mate? Going good. Channel 10 is good. Used by 4x4 clubs, national parks and convoy. Yeah. Print out a list of the channel users and carry with you. That's certainly handy too. There is a list if you jump on Google and find out what the UHF channels are. You will get a big list, and you could print them out and laminate it, and then you've got it in your vehicle all the time. Then you know straight away. No guesswork on what channels you can and can't use or shouldn't be using for general, convoy chats and stuff like that. Brennan, channel 40 is used by the CFA. There you go. So they're channel 40 there, 14 for the CFA dudes. G'day, mate. How you going? All going well. Just on the side watching. As long as you're watching, mate, that's all going all right. Greg, how are you, mate? Yeah, I'm going pretty good. GQ, really special people. Thanks for really special people. That's nice. Notice a lot of roadworks you on 14. Sometimes they flick around too. Channel 14. I got on one through the week up near Dargo. I think they were on 29 or something like that. It was, and that's also where it's handy. You know, if you're going away and you're in a convoy, have your main UHF that you wide up to your vehicle. You have that on your channel that you're chatting to all your mates with, and it's always handy having a handheld. Just have that sitting on your seat there or whatever, and put that on the channels that you want to listen to, whether it be 18 or or something like that, or 40, so you can listen to the truck guys through your handheld. And then you got the best of both worlds going on there, rather than flicking around channels all the time on your general chat radio that you're using to talk to your mates on. Big Paps, mate, going pretty good. Mark, channel 9 is the channel that the trucks use up the coast. They don't use 40 for some reason, which is there you go. I wasn't sure. I wasn't aware of that, but now 29 is what all the truck guys get on heading up that coast between Sydney and where was it? Sydney and Queensland. Righto, so that's equivalent one there. So channel 29, if you're heading up that way, have a listen to that one, and you'll soon find out what's going on with accidents and any radar, police, and that sort of stuff going around. Jay, how you going there, mate? Everyone should know not to use the repeater duplex channels, unless of course you're in a using it as a repeater. Yes, that's spot on, mate. And try and keep off those channels and keep them open and free, just in case for those people that really do need to jump on one of those repeater channels and use it for for that long distance in case they're in a bit of an emergency, bit of strife. So yeah, absolutely stay off those main repeater channels when you're tripping around just general chats, that's for sure. DJs use not on channel 5. Yeah, channel 5, as we sort of mentioned a bit earlier on there, channel 5 and 35 are another couple of emergency channels, which again, don't communicate on those either. Land Cruiser, GME seem to have most of the market here in Oz. Yeah, a lot of them do. There's certainly a lot of that sort of radio getting around, that brand of radio getting around. Been around a long time. So yeah, no worries about that. Jay, channels 1 through 8 and 38, 1 through 38, please. Yeah, we sort of did mention that a bit earlier on in the piece about both of those ranges, where to stay off those for general communication and only try them out if you really do need them for an emergency situation. G'day, Peter. How you going there, mate? Going pretty good here. So so it's just thought we'd have a bit of a chat about it, because sort of do get asked, a lot about that. What channel do I use in the High Country? Because, you've either got 40 or you've got 80 channels to choose from, and there's a lot there that you really can't use. So what channel do you get on that you're not going to have any dramas on? So yeah, channel 10 is my go-to channel, especially in the High Country. Well, pretty much anywhere, but channel 10 is certainly my go-to channel that I chat with all my mates when we go away on any trips we do go on. G'day, Andrew. How you going there, mate? Land Cruiser, how have you found the tyres? Been out on them yet? I was out on them only just got back from Dargo only on Saturday. That was their first trip in a bit of dirt. Really good. I'm hoping to get into some snow later on this week, but we'll see how that all pans out. But yeah, look, I'll do a video on this a bit later on, but yeah, I have gone back. I've got the Duratrax on because the MTRs, you just can't get them at the moment. Really, really short supply. So gone back to the Duratrax, and I've had Duratrax before, and for aggressive all-terrain daily driver tyre, they are fantastic. So very, very happy with them, and a little bit quieter if that's one of your key things when you're looking at tyres too, is the after there, they are a good tyre. BSA Motorcycles, what is the good UHF radio brand? Oh, look, there's so many of them around there. Like GME was mentioned before. Oricom's another big one that's certainly around. Been around for a fair while. So yeah, they're probably a couple of the main big ones. Look, GME, mate, they've been around for donkey's years, and assuming they're still a good radio. I haven't got one in there in my car at the moment, but yeah, I have used them in the past and never had a problem with them. DJs, channel 9 is an emergency for channel 27. Well, there you go. Channel 9's emergency for 27. Big Paps, good track for a beginner in the High Country, mate. I have got a couple of videos there. You might want to have a look at that, because I did one live chat on this not so long ago where we talked about a heap of tracks for beginners to go and do out of that Mansfield area. But if you're going to do any of them, you'd probably better jump on it pretty quickly, because most of them are going to close in that first Thursday straight after Queen's birthday weekend. So well worth having a look at that series I did there, mate, where I've covered a lot of tracks there, provided it's dry. Go and have a look at those, that live chat we did a few weeks back, mate, and I'll certainly help you out, that's for sure. CR, what's going there, mate? What's happening if you only got a 40-channel UHF and not an 80-channel? Well, look, yeah, well, you've only got those channels where you can use within there, but even those, when you're in there, you still make sure you stay off, numbers 1 through 8 and channel 5 and 31 through 38. So, you got to make sure you stay off those, but you got the other ones there that you can use, because not all of us have got the 80-channel radios, and still a few of us still got 40s. So, still plenty of channel options there to use, even if you still only do have the 40. Biggles, wasn't expecting you to be live tonight. Yeah, sort of just seeing where we're at the moment. I was a bit late getting back last week, so didn't get one done last week. So here we are here tonight having a yarn to you guys about UHF channel radios. All pretty good. GQ, the Yokohamas are incredible mud tyres. Yeah, I haven't used the Yokies, mate, but if you've got some good feedback there, that's not too bad going there at all. Gary, BSA and GME are Australian made with 5-year warranties. There you go. There's some brands there. Certainly go and check out if you're looking for anything in that UHF radio range. Land Cruiser, the 80s still work fine, as do the 40s. Just means less working channels. Yeah, absolutely, mate. There's no really great disadvantage. The channel 40s still work absolutely fine as they do with the channel 80, but yeah, you just haven't quite got that big, another 40 channels to use, if you do have an 80-channel radio. But, 40s are still absolutely fine, because there is still a lot of people still getting around on them. There's no doubt about that. Greg, I like to keep a UHF screen eye level when driving, so I don't take my eyes off the road. Yeah, that's certainly handy if you can keep it up there, mate, so you can see what's going on with it, and then you get no dramas at all. I want a real good radio, Icom. Yeah, they're another pretty big brand that's getting around out there. So yeah, look, there's plenty of range if you're in the market for a radio. There's heaps of them you can be certain looking at. G'day, Mark. I'm going pretty good, thanks, mate. Hopefully everything's going all right with you too there, mate. Peter, Paul, went to the dark side and got a GU. Thanks to you. Oh, what do you mean went to the dark side? What did you jump off, mate? And hopefully your GU's going all right. And mate, they're just a damn good thing. I mean, mine's been great right up till now. But mate, I'm sure you're going to be very happy with your GU once you get it out there in the bush. But yeah, went for the dark side. What did you end up getting, mate? And Big Paps, best channel on YouTube for 4x4. Love your work. Thanks, mate. Greatly appreciate the feedback there. That's wicked. Thanks very much. Mix full drive. Personally, I like UHF 12 or 68, depending if anyone is in the convoy who has 80 channel or not. Normally drive and have it on the scan. There you go. There's a couple of channels there that Mix certainly using. Number 12 or 68. Depending on whether you got the 40 or 80 channel radio going on there. A couple of good options there. Mark, hard to find is the open channel. Yeah, look, there, especially if you only got the 40, it can sometimes get a little bit awkward, a bit harder to find a channel that's not being used. But if you're traveling in convoy, you just got to turn your squelch button, your number down as low as you can get it, and then then you're not going to get massive range. So the lower that number is on your squelch, it's going to reduce the range of your radio, so you got less chance of picking up other people that are a bit further out. But but if you're wanting to get more range, well then just crank your squelch number right up as high as it'll go, and then it'll certainly go a lot further, and then you'll probably pick up other convoys around. But that's the go if you're trying to drown out other convoys. Because, if you're traveling convoy, you're generally not that far apart. You might be a K or so apart, or you can always crank that squelch number down, and you'll certainly eliminate a lot of other chats going on in the area you're in. So there's the go there. Wade, great channel, mate. Thanks very much. Greatly appreciate that. Thanks there for dropping in there tonight. Land Cruiser, do you need change to go to Mount Buller car park for a day trip, even in a full drive? Yes, you do. If once, not at the moment, you won't. But once the snow season starts, once that officially starts, which will be Queen's birthday weekend, if you want to drive up to the top of Mount Buller, the car park, you will have to have chains, even in a full drive. Doesn't matter how geared up or how set up it is. Any of the ski resorts, Mount Buller, Mount Hotham, Bogon, Falls Creek, all of those, you won't get up onto those mountains without having snow chains in your car, even in a full drive. So that answers your question, mate. Yes, you'll definitely need chains if you're going up to Buller during the snow season, but up until between now and Queen's birthday weekend, they're not a compulsory item. So there you go. Ross, do you use the shorter 60 Deba aerial in the high country? That's what I have got, that little short, stubby, not real short. It's probably 800 long or something. That's the same as the 6dB radio aerial that I've always used pretty much on my UHF radio, mate. And yeah, works fine. The big long one I've got there, well, that's just just so I can get some extra distance for AM radio, particularly during summertime, so I can pick up AM radios like ABC and that sort of thing for weather conditions and fire updates and that sort of stuff. So that's why I do have the 2 aerials on the front. The other one's just purely for radio only. G'day, Buckers. How you going there, mate? Channel 40 for general chat on the Bruce Highway with the truckies, and 18 for the caravanners. Yeah, that's definitely go, mate. We mentioned a couple of those earlier on with 40 and 18 for the caravanners. The 18's a good one to know about in case you didn't know about it. Because there's so many caravanners on the road, and and sometimes they can be a little bit harder to get past. So it's always handy, just to jump on your radio and tune into channel 18 and just give them a quick chat and see if you can get round them somewhere up the road. So that's certainly a very handy one to know about. That's for sure. Red hot tip there from Bucks. You don't need snow chains in far north Queensland, mate. It's a wonder you even know what they are. Yeah. This is the time of year come down here where snow chains are definitely a mandatory thing to carry with any sort of snow trip. But no, you won't be. I don't think you're going to buy a set up in the full drive shops in far north Queensland, mate. They probably wouldn't even know what a snow chain even looked like. So there you go. Della, other way around is squelch up the block out low signals. Yeah, that's right. Is crank the squelch right up, and then that'll block out any other signals going on. Mark, cheers, mate. I'm still looking for my first full drive. I'm belting around in a hatchback at the moment. Well, hopefully you can find that full drive soon, mate, and you can jump out hatchback and hit some tracks. That'd be pretty awesome, I reckon. Big Paps there. Have you always owned a Patrol? No, I've only owned this one that I've got now since 2009. I've had Nissan since 2003. So D22s before the Patrol I've got now. So yeah, but no, I've only had the Patrol since 2009, and it's it's fantastic. I just love it. Jay, big difference between the old 40 channel and the 80. 40 channels use 20. Oh, here we go. 25 bandwidth for the newer radios is half that. So talking about between old and new, it can distort loud and make bad audio. Well, there you go. There's some feedback there. I didn't know about the 40 between 40 and 80 channels going on there. Mr. Buckers, my son is throwing a Cummins diesel in his GU. He's over the underpowered 3 litre. Well, if I ever went down that road, mate, that's something I might look at down the track. Is a Cummins conversion, probably the 4.5 litre. I wouldn't mind maybe looking at that. But my 3 litre Fairningham, it's grouse. I really like it. Like we've done the tune on it. Got the stage 2 turbo upgrade. Got the big intercooler and the big bonnet scoop going on. It's Fairningham. It is great. I really like it. So maybe you need to do a bit more with your son's GU before in that 3 litre before he thinks about chucking it away. Caravanners are everywhere. Yeah, they're everywhere, mate. They'll all be heading your way too soon because it's starting to get a bit cold down here, mate. So there'll be caravanners going north everywhere now. The borders especially open up. That's for sure. Aussie, what's going there, mate? I really enjoy videos and the repeated towers for the UHF. Great to know how to use them, and yeah, no worries, mate. Greatly appreciate the feedback, and they are certainly very handy if you're unaware on the repeated towers and how they work. We've spoken a bit about them tonight, but there is another video on my channel there. It goes into a lot more detail where I did an interview there with a guy here from one of the local radio clubs, and he explained how the repeated towers, how they work in great detail. So it's well worth having a look at that. if you want a bit more in-depth information about how the repeater towers work. Oh, Leanne, better late than never. God, yeah, what are we? We're 25 minutes in now, and you're only just dropping in. But yeah, always better late than never. Good to see you in tonight. Hopefully your night on the road's going not too hectic for you. Harry, off topic. That's all right. But I'd love to know what you do for work. Well, YouTube now is my work. I'm now full time with YouTube, as I've done now for probably the last year and a half. But prior to that, mate, I've spent 30 years in the building game and absolutely loved it. Still do miss it a little bit. But yeah, so now I'm full-time YouTuber, making videos and that sort of stuff. But yeah, building game was great. I did enjoy those days. They were a fair way ago, but yeah, really, really good. Ran my own bricklaying business there for 25 odd years of that, and then just worked for a few mates up until the last few years. So there you go. So that's what I'm up to at the moment. G'day, Jazz. How you going there? Greatly appreciate dropping in. Dello, still have he's talking to someone there. Big Paps, they need to get you for one episode with Graham and Full Action. They do all the crazy stuff, mate. I did a number of years with Full Drive Action back in 2010, probably about 3 or 4 years there. They were great days, but yeah, they can do some unreal crazy stuff. But it'd be great to catch up with those. Well, I'll hopefully catch up on this year. I think the Full Drive show is looking like going to be on down here in Melbourne in August, which is not far away, about 8-9 weeks away. We're going to get back in the Melbourne Full Drive show and catch up with all those guys down there, Graham and Shauno and all the crew from the action. It's it'd be good to see them all again for sure, because it's been a long time since we've been able to catch up with any of those dudes. So we'll see them all then. The old fellas can't get booked into Damper, Broome, Lake Argyle. Every travel is going north. Yeah, they are, mate. They're all be heading out of here. They'll be evacuating Victoria like you got no idea, and they're all heading your way. So for that warmer weather for the next 4 or 5 months. So see how it goes. It's going to get busy up that way. There's no doubt about that. Steve, it's going there, mate. I'll try and catch up. Missed the start. That's all right, mate. No dramas. Catch up any time, mate. The videos are there all the time for you to be looking at. Leanne, I'm at work. Not too bad at the moment. Well, that's good. Let's hopefully your night goes all right. Being on the road, what you're doing there. Chris, great topic tonight, mate. Thanks very much. Heading up to the country, New South Wales tomorrow for get some good refreshing. It'll be good up there, mate. It's going to be fresh. There's no doubt about that. So you have a great trip when you're heading up there. And might see you up there at some stage, but we'll see how we go. Mix, will you be at the New South Wales Full Drive show in September? Nothing's planned at this stage to head up to the New South Wales Full Drive show, but definitely going to be at the Melbourne show in August, and could be a possibility of going over to the West in November, but we'll see what happens with that one as we get a bit closer. Harry, go on, mate. Brick lane ain't easy. I'm a re-stumper, so I can relate to the hard work. Yeah, mate, it was, the body's $1 million. Look, yeah, I've got no aches and pains or anything like that going on, and everything's going good. But, the building game was good fun, and I do miss the guys I work with. It was always a great laugh, and, the building game was good. But, yeah, time to move on and do some other things. So the only bit of building material or building tools I use these days is my egg flip, but I've cut the point off me Marshalltown Brick Lane trailer. I've cut the point off, and that now flips me eggs in the morning, me bacon and eggs when I'm out there camping. Jade just came back from the High Country trip in the White Ox trip. He inspired us by Sunday evening forums. Absolutely awesome. Glad to finally get out there. Thanks for your advice. No worries. I'm glad you had a good trip. There's plenty of snow around. I'm fair chance you would have seen a fair bit of that, because there's a lot of it falling down here at the moment, that's for sure. Alex, thanks for the great topic, mate. Greatly appreciate that. Please do the trip with the Aussie Arvo boys. Would be great in regards to Alex. Not sure who they are, but we might find out about who they are a bit later on down the track. Jazzo, it's going there. What's the best spot to camp? Up at Moreton Island. Heading up there next month from Canberra. I've done Moreton a couple of times, and it's a great island, well worth going out. But I've camped both times on the the side where you get off the barge, and it was only like about 4 or 5k up the beach. I can't remember the name of the camp area now, but it's one of the few first ones you come to on that side of the beach, there side of the island. It was fantastic. I really liked it there. So, but if you want to go over the surf side, over the other side, that's also nice over there, depending on what the weather's doing too, and whether that sort of thing. But I just like that side, so I'd probably, if I go back there again, I would stick on that side where I'd get off the barge and just drive 4 or 5k up the beach and park up there. And absolutely love Moreton Island. It's a great spot. Della, I think you should do a trip down this way. Yeah, it'd be good to see. It's good to see bucks in some snow. I reckon he should get down here and get into some of this white stuff that these guys don't see up in North Queensland. Be interesting to see how he goes in some snow down here. We should drag him down here at some stage, I reckon. Daz heading to Snow River next week. Going there for a short trip. What's that? My Gaz's strip fell apart. That's no good. Whatever's going on there, Gaza's strip fell apart. That's no good. Whatever's going on with that, I'm not sure what that all is. DJs, what's going on? Would you have some snow yesterday? Where we had more than just some snow. We had mountains of it. We had the stack of snow falling, and it's still falling tonight too. Forecast about 1,500 tonight. So still going to be a fair bit of snow around for the next few days, and it'll start disappearing pretty quickly because the weather's going to crank up and get a little bit warmer down here come Wednesday on to right through to the weekend sort of thing. So the snow won't hang around much at all as we go forward. Jason, just realised I used to work with you. You did you? Now you said you were a brickie. Righto, Jason Kennedy. That name might be ringing a bell. Jason Kennedy, we'll have to have a think about that one. But yeah, that was would have been a long time ago if that was the case. CRJ, is there still any good full drive wreckers in North Melbourne? I'm not sure about any good full drive wreckers, mate. Especially over that side. You might have to do a bit of Google and searching around for that one, mate, and see what you can certainly find, depending on what you're looking for, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not sure on that side, mate. Land Cruiser, what snow chains are worth it? Do you need 2 or the full set? Look, I only got the one set of chains, and the diamond pattern snow chains that I've had for probably about 10 years now. And they get used every year. And the diamond pattern ones that I bought from Piranha back, easy 10 years ago. So they're definitely probably the better ones to get. And I think they're the most recommended ones for the high country in driving through snow because of the crisscross pattern of them. The ladder chains aren't much good for what we do. They're all right, for driving up and down the bitumen. If you're going up to one of the resorts and back, you hire them, the ladder chains from the surveys and that sort of stuff. But if you really want to buy yourself a good set of snow chains, diamond pattern are the duck's nuts. They are fair income. They are great. Well worth getting for a set of those. If you're going to use them a fair bit. Because well worth having. But not only need one set, mate. You don't need all 4 tyres with chains on them. That's just massive overkill. Just front ones and put them on the front tyres, and you should go right, I reckon. Steve, does anyone use an AMCB? I really don't know about that one, mate. I'm not really sure about that one. Probably bound to be someone out there, I reckon. Kevin, I've seen the snow came here as it nearly 40C. As it's nearly 40C. Well, that sounds pretty warm where you are, but certainly not that down here, that's for sure. Outdoors, just came back from a trip around Eildon last week. Magic Country, looking forward to seeing a lot more of the Vic High Country, mate. There's heaps to see. That's not a bad area, that side, just out of Mansfield there. Heaps to go, do Jamison, all that sort of stuff from there. No worries at all. Good area to get into. We need to get this Mr. Buckers down here. When's he going to come down? Come on, Bucks. You need to come down here and come and see some of this white stuff. Actually, I'd be interested to know have you ever put your feet in it? Be interested to know. Bring Rafa down and see what Rafa thinks of this white stuff down here, mate. And see how your dog goes in the snow too. It'd be an absolute classic, I reckon. Clinton, how many days did it take you to drive from Victoria to New South Wales from near Buchan? I did. Look, that trip from Buchan across to Jindabyne, you do it easy in a day. Like it's only about. It's only not even 100 Ks or something. So you do it very, very easy in a day if you didn't want to stop. But it's nice if you've got a day or two, take your time up through that Barry Way and check it all out along the Snow River there. But mate, if you want to get through from Buchan to Jindabyne in the day, you'll do it easy, very easy. It's not that far at all. Kevin, true blue Aussie. There we go. Mr. Bucks, have you used snow chains, zip-on ones? No, I haven't. Tires like the big knobs on them snow for them snow. No, I haven't. I don't use zip tires or anything like that, or the zip-on ones, mate. I got Finnegan proper snow chains that don't come off. They're the best ones to get, I reckon. Mr. Bucks, Rafa said, stick the snow up your ass, mate. Come on. Come down here and bring Rafa down. He'd love to get his feet in some of this white stuff down here, mate. Come and check it out. Be awesome. Be absolute cracker. Seeing you Queenslanders playing around in some of this white stuff down here that you guys don't see at all up there where you live. Bring that dog down and let's check it out. Jade, do you think that some of those tracks in the High Country should be one direction only? There's not much room to move in some of the places. Yeah, look. It's a bit hard to make them one way because then you're gonna, by making them one way, then you're gonna block off a lot of access into other areas as well. So I get your point there where there is some really tight tracks and getting past other vehicles sometimes, but you're just gonna have to make it up at the time. And you generally always do, you always get past. But I don't think it's probably a good idea with probably making a lot of them one way, because as I said, then it really blocks off from getting trips through and going off to see other areas. So yeah, probably not that good, I think. But keep it, just make it up as you go, and just when you come up to another vehicle, always find a way to get past, I reckon. DJs, what's bucket list? Barry Way's on the bucket list, yeah, mate. It's a great drive through there, well worth driving through. And if you want to talk about narrow tracks and stuff like that, the one down to McKillop's Bridge, if you haven't driven that one before, that is fitting one of the most dangerous dirt roads I reckon I've driven on in a long time. I'd hate to drive that road during the peak times when we're talking about tight roads and one-way roads and all this sort of stuff. If you haven't driven that road down to McKillop's, go and check it out. But Finnegan, just be very careful. It's during one of the busy weekends or busy holiday times, because it is a damn dangerous road, really narrow. Yeah, really narrow, but check that one out. Kevin, we went back. What is the best used full drive to buy around $30,000? So again, it's going to come down to to what you're sort of needing it for. That's endless options on what you can get there. Whether you want the wagon, you want a dual cab, or anything like that. So yeah, you really just kind of to maybe look at certain working out what you're going to want it for, I suppose, and try and look at vehicles around that, where you got families to get around, or you're a tradie, you're going to use it for work, and then maybe you're going to use it then on the weekends. It's really endless. I don't sort of envy your task about looking for a second-hand one and trying to find out what's suitable, because God, there's just so many options on what vehicles you can get for under 30 grand, and you get some good ones too in there. Don't worry about that. Tyler, North End Queensland has that. That's North End Queensland, North Queenslanders. Righto, Ian. Evening, mate. How you going? Love exploring the Vic High Country. When can we do a group tour with all your followers? Well, we'll see about that maybe a bit later on in the year. They are really hard to organise. I did a catch up a couple of years ago, but then COVID came along and put a jam stamper on the next one. But we'll see a bit further on down the track. It is really hard running organised tours, though, especially for the public liability side of all stuff. It makes it really awkward. So we'll see what happens going forward about that, because it would be great to do something. There's no doubt about that for sure. G'day, Chris. Mr. Bucks, some of the best camping trips I've ever had been in the snow. There you go. Everyone's starting to rip into him now, so they should get down here and come and check out this white stuff, because it's pretty damn good. Actually, come down about late August, mate. That's if you want to come down from interstate and you want to try and get some pretty much guaranteed snow. Don't come down for June, probably even early July. Best time if you're coming down for interstate and want to get in is late July, get into August, and even August is probably the best time, I reckon. Snow season's getting later and later, and August is a good time of year to come down and check out that white stuff. Craig, is Billy Goats Bluff and Blue Rag open in October? Billy Goats or Blue Rag won't be. Blue Rag is a seasonally shut track, so that will close that first Thursday straight after Queen's birthday weekend, unless there's extra dump of snow, which they might close it early. But at the moment, that's the plan for Blue Rag. But Billy Goats is open all year round. There's no seasonal closure on Billy Goats at all, so you can drive that all year round. Only time I've ever seen Billy Goats closed is through bushfires, when there's fires in the area. Other than that, she's open all year round, mate. Outdoors, as for UHF channels, I don't have a designated channel. Use channel 17 some of the time. Yeah, well, there you go. Channel 17, you end up just finding one, and when you find one that you sort of like and just works well, you just generally stick with it, and that's why I generally stick with channel 10. It works for for the channels the times that I need to get on it, and works well. Kevin, thanks, mate. Just me and my wife are going to the High Country, my home stomping ground. Yeah, look, mighty High Country, mate. It is a great area, and find it hard to get out of it. But planning to do maybe I'm trying to get up and do some Central Australia stuff maybe in the next month or so. Now it's good time of year to head up that way, but we'll see what happens. See what happens at the moment, but we'll see what goes on. Glenn, what's your thoughts on solar panels during the colder months? I've only still got the big old fold up solar panel, 120 watt, which I take away during summertime, but I certainly don't carry one at all this time of year because the fridge doesn't get a great deal of work out. It's when the temperatures are down as low as they are. But yeah, I don't know, depending on where you're going, but if you're really going to park up for a good few days, well, you might look about maybe taking one. Just for that warmer days, you get a bit of sunshine when you want to touch your batteries back up again. And yeah, probably wouldn't hurt to carry one if you're going to park up for a good few days. But other than that, yeah, I don't carry one at all this time of the year. Don't need it, I reckon. Frank, Kevin Buck, if you don't have kids and the 80 series, there you go, mate. Jump in the 80 series. 80 series is a great vehicle. Good old 80. Great thing. My mate's actually got one of those factory turbos. It's done nearly 500,000 Ks or maybe a bit over, and still going good. Never been opened. It's a great thing he's got, and it's a genuine factory turbo, and he's 80. Goes good. Land Cruiser. I'm in for a trip and camp. Love to catch up. Yeah, it'd be good. It would be really ace to catch up with a lot of you guys because I greatly appreciate all the support that comes through here and throughout all my videos. And then these live chats are great, just having a yarn to all you guys and about the topics that we do talk about each week. Because it is good fun. So it would be great to at some stage there to hook up with you guys and sit around a fire and have a cold or two and talk about stuff. Would be good. We'll see how we go a bit further on down the track with all that. Jason, word has it that the Trig track was going to be permanently closed after the terrible accidents a few years back. I'm not sure about the whole length of it. I'm still pretty sure that the east side, which is where the accident happened, so from Donnelly, the Aberfeldy River at the bottom to the top, to the seasonal gate at the top there, I'm pretty sure that side with all the switchbacks is closed still. But I'm not sure about the west side. I've heard all sorts of stuff about the west side. There was big piles of rocks apparently dropped at the very top up on the Walhalla Road. So I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure what's going on with Trig at the minute. But as far as that side where that horrible accident happened a year or so ago, I'm pretty sure that side is closed, and it could be a permanent closure on it. But best ones to find out there. If you can't find anything online, have a chat with the Delp guys or the Parks guys there at Erica. They will certainly, or at Rawson, they'd be able to certainly tell you on what's going there and with Trig Track if you can't find anything else, mate. But yeah, very, very sad situation there. G'day, Peter. How you going, mate? How about subscribers? Buck trip. Well, that could be a bit of fun. Imagine the band are going up the highway, up the Newell Highway, up to Queensland. That'd be an absolute laugh. But look, there's all sorts of stuff we can try and organise, down the track. But it's all just timing and everything else. Get it all to happen. Leanne, night everyone. She's going off. She's going off to you're going to jump in an ambo somewhere, and hopefully it's going to be a quiet night for you. But see how you go with all that. Daz. How much is a dual battery setup? Well, it depends how much you want to spend on it. Mine's as cheap as chips. It's just one of those smart solenoids. Again, I've got a video there on my dual battery setup, and it's maybe check that one out. But it's as simple as all get up, and depends, I suppose, on how many accessories you're going to run off it to actually what you're going to need with big inverters and that sort of thing. So, maybe have a look at the video I did do on my dual battery setup, and then work out from there where you think that might be suitable for you, or whether you need to get something a bit more updated or a bit more upgraded from what I've got, mate. Maybe check that out. Jade, solar panels work better during the cooler conditions. There you go. As long as it's sunny, yeah. As long as you've got some sun on it, heat reduces the solar cells. There you go. Didn't know that at all, but yeah, as long as you've got some sun in the sky, the solar panels will work yeah, no worries. And you'll be right. So even during the cooler months, g'day 80 ZX. Safe travels, mate. You have a good one too, and maybe catch you up maybe another time on here. Frank, if you had 1 month to spend in the high country, where would you go? And if you've never seen it before, there's still quite a lot of the high country I haven't seen. But if I had a month, my ideal trip would be I'd start at Mansfield, work my way through. I'd do a loop up through Lacola, across Otago, over to Omeo, Snow River, McCallops Bridge, down to where would I go from there? Probably then down to Murray River at Tom Grogan and do Pinnabar and that sort of stuff. That would be an absolute cracking 4-week trip. If you've got a spare 4 weeks, that'd be an absolute ripper. So yeah, that providing the season's open, that's all got to be open when the tracks are open, where you could do that sort of trip. That'd be about what I'd be looking. It'd be a fantastic trip, I reckon. Kevin, wouldn't that be grouse that the old fellas travel to have a yearly trip with everyone? It would be great, mate. It'd be feeding them awesome to catch up with everyone. But we'll just see how it all goes out as we go forward down the track. Mr. Bucks, we will set up a roadblock at the border, 3 cartons to enter the great state. Oh, fair income, 3 cartons to get over the border. Can we bring anything that's not 4X though? Because it'd have to be 4X to get over the border, or what? So it'd be interesting to see what it would have a special brand to get over the border, do we, Bucks, or what? We'll see how that one all pans out. Knowing you Queenslanders, a lot all drinking 4X up there. We might have to use that to use as bargaining chips to get over the boundary. Frank, thanks for the answers, mate. Appreciate it. No worries. Great to appreciate you dropping there tonight. Yeah, it's been good. Thanks very much, mate. Buck's only problem is that they bring... No, I wouldn't be bringing VB, that's for sure. It'd be Carlton Draft or someone that'd be going in mine. Is Mount Buffalo in the high country? I fought Ash Wednesday. Yeah, it is. Mount Buffalo is, yeah. Mount Buffalo is Fenningham. It's one of the most underrated mountains there are in the whole Victorian high country. And I've said it many times before, and I still say it today. Not much in the way of full driving up there, but I tell you what, the camping up there and the walks and waterfalls and rivers and views, Fenningham, an absolute some of the best views you'll see anywhere in the Victorian high country is on the top of go up top of Mount Buffalo. Absolutely knockout. So check that out if you haven't been up there. And especially now coming into winter, I mean the waterfalls run pretty much all year round, but they sort of dribble a bit over the summer months. But now coming into winter after some good rain, the waterfalls that fall off the top of Mount Buffalo are Fenningham. They are absolute knockout. So, and you go camping around the Buckland Valley, camping there easy, do a nice weekend or whatever, camp in the Buckland Valley and the Buckland River there, and check out Mount Buffalo while you're up there. Sensational. Adam, dual battery system, simple is better. Yeah, look, absolutely. Mine's as simple as it Fenningham gets, and yeah, no complications, very uncomplicated setup, and I don't run a great deal off it. I've got a fridge and inverter and a few little lights, and that's about it. So yeah, I keep it very, very simple, mate. That's just how I like it. Adam, anyone else from Tassie here? Weather has just gone wild. Yeah, I've got some friends down in Tassie at the moment. Actually, they're running around down there on motorbikes, believe it or not. Yeah, I think the weather's going pretty crazy everywhere, but especially down this bottom end of Australia, it's gone pretty crazy. DJs, what's gin and tonic and draft? Yeah, that'd be pretty good. That'd get you over the boundary, I reckon, up there. Both good drop there, mate. Tyler, I'm from Tassie. Cool down here. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool there too, mate, because it's been feeling cold here the last 3 days, and we've got one more sort of day of it before it starts to fine up again. We get a bit of sunshine coming through. Alan, when's the family? I'm looking forward to a magnificent cooking sesh. Yeah, like I say, we will have to try and maybe look at this. Probably might leave it till maybe when the tracks may be open, getting into a bit warmer weather, and we might look at doing another catch up somewhere in the high country a bit later on in the year, because it would be grouse, that's for sure. Jade, don't forget the case of Bundy. Yeah, look, they all on the Bundy up there. That'd be pretty good, that's for sure. Jazza, module battery setup was about $500. Yeah, mate, cheap as, that's the go. The battery box with a voltmeter. Yeah, mate, look, you don't need a great deal much more than that. Keep it simple, mate, especially when you're talking electrics. Anything electrical, the easier and the simpler it is, the simpler the setup, the less chance of something going wrong, catching fire, fuses blowing, overload and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, keep it simple as possible is definitely the go. That's for sure. Kevin, have you ever been to the tracks around Dartmouth Dam? No, I haven't. I haven't done anything up around that way. So, yeah, no, I haven't. Can't really help you much in that area at all. Okay, hello, coming in from British Columbia. There we go. Guy in Japan. There we go. Thanks very much. There's a long way tuning in. So our radio waves and internet waves are going way over there at the moment. Thanks very much for dropping in there tonight. Okay, greatly appreciate the coming in from all that distance, mate. That's unreal. Too many pages on Monday. Yeah, they do. High Country Taxidermy. How you going there, mate? Been chatting to you a bit just lately in some of your videos. Pretty fresh in Swifts Creek. Got a dusting of the white stuff in Swifts Creek. That's not bad. You're down at 700. There you go. Bit of white stuff down at 700, and that's not bad at all, mate. So it'd be pretty cold, but I think that'll melt pretty fast over the next couple of days. That's for sure. But yeah, thanks for dropping in there tonight, mate. Mix. There's been a chat with myself and Bucks, a few others about small content creators weekend camp in New South Wales. Nothing planned yet. Well, we'll see what event might eventuate out of that because yeah, it could be quite a funny time. That's for sure. See what happens all down the track. Alex. What track would you recommend for a beginner in the Victorian High in full driving in the High Country? Again, I mentioned this a little while earlier on in tonight. A guy did ask about that same question. There's a couple of live chats I've had on that very topic only about the last month ago. Maybe drop in there and check those out, mate, because there's some really good information there. Maps you need, tracks you can go and drive as a beginner full driver in the Vic High Country. So maybe check those couple of live ones out that we did not so long ago, mate, and they will give you a lot of information on what you're asking for there. Kevin, we are now in the mountains of northern Thailand. There you go, Kevin. Oh, Kevin, there you go. That's right. He's way over in Thailand. There you go. That's pretty cool. Matt, you should simulcast your chats via UHF. I'm not sure how you go about doing that. I'm always open for ideas, but I'm not sure how you go about doing that. Yeah, not sure, mate. Right, well, hell, you've been going for nearly an hour chatting to you blokes. How about this? It's all pretty good. We might wrap this one up and let you guys get on with your Sunday night. You probably got some dinner to cook yet, and maybe go and wash a few dishes. I know I've got to go and do a few dishes. And we'll look forward to catching you guys on another one, another chat. We'll come up with another topic, unless you guys have got a topic that you might want to have a chat about. Put it in the comments down below, and I'll have a flick through those. But until then, guys, have a great week, and thanks again. Much greatly appreciate everyone dropping in tonight. The feedback there, all coming through there, is unreal. And Mr. Bucks, you Finningham, stay warm, and we might see you down here in this beautiful white stuff in the High Country someday, mate. Good on you guys. Thanks very much. Greatly appreciate it. And we'll check you a bit later on. Hooroo.